Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tyler, it's aka Side Killington. Yeah, man, what's going on everybody? So, the GTA 5 community, particularly the online community, is up in arms over this laser blazer turbo. It's the laser being 6.5 million. Um, all your usual suspects, your gypsies, your GTA men, your sunnies, your Bruffies even getting on this. Everyone's kind of ranting about this and speaking their mind and their piece and things like that. And I wanted to watch a lot of these guys' videos. When I made my review video on this, like 6 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday when the laser came out, that was I was one of the first people talking about this. I was like, man, come on, are you kidding me? Like for real, this is just such a disappointment to the end of Smuggler's Run DOC, which was a 3 month affair. It would have been much better if they had held off the Hunter into the very last thing, and I guarantee you wouldn't have been as bad of a outlash, I guess you could say. But this is the whole thing about it. All these good YouTubers are talking about this and saying their piece and doing their rants and things like that. And they all echo each other. They all say that Rockstar has fallen under this umbrella of greed, how they used to be a champion of difference and change and they pioneered a different type of gameplay with their online world and they've kind of lost their way. And everyone, they all say kind of the same thing, that the laser is free online. You can just go to the Fort Zancudo and pick it up and just fly away with it. If you have a hangar, in Fort Zancudo, you can just walk outside your hangar, and you just steal it and you're good to go. And why, and all you get for 6.5 million is the availability to just call it in as a personal vehicle and to paint it, which I completely agree. I totally agree. That's just total. That's it's bullshit. It's just ridiculous. But there's a few things that all these content creators have been saying that they're kind of missing. There's a few things that I think that are the true root cause of what's going on and what's happening. Because and this is the thing. People that I saw that Yan made a comment on Twitter. He was like, he was saying he doesn't know why that the community is up in arms about this. He said it could have been way worse. That Rockstar could have taken the laser out of the game entirely, to where you couldn't have stolen it, and then you just would have been. You only thing you could have done is actually buy it for 6.5 million. That's the only way you could have been able to get it. Which honestly, I think that would have been worse. Really, to be honest, I think that would have enraged the community even more, taking something away from the game that's been there for 4 years, just to make people be able to buy it, to be able to get it. That would have been really bad. Um, but a lot of people are mimicking or echoing Yan's point of view. They're like, "Why is it such a big deal?" This is the thing. The community is not up in arms over the price of the laser. Bruffy kind of touched on this a little bit. I want to go a little bit deeper into it, though. He was like, this was kind of like the final straw that broke the camel's back. This is the last drop in the cup that made the water runneth over, right? Rockstar has been doing this for a while now. This has been their MO for a while, and it's really, really disappointing. This is the big thing right here. Think about it. Ever since they had good DLCs that were coming out, really good DLCs. It seems like ever since the after the CEO DLC with the VIPs and CEO with the crates and things like that, it started to go downhill, where vehicles were becoming more and more outrageously expensive, and there was just not really any kind of incentive to buy a shark, even though people were buying shark cards by the boatloads. I mean, it's ridiculous. We have to remember here, Rockstar made $1 billion in just the first couple of weeks that this game was out, and they've made another $1 billion off shark cards alone. Okay, so they have made billions, not billion, billions, and still making money off of this game 4 years later. This is the equivalent of basically 10 games that another company could have put out. And so they have made a tremendous amount of money, and they just seem to be tightening the noose and just tightening their grip on their consumers and their player base to squeeze every single last drop of that oh so sweet shark card money out of us. Now, me personally, full disclosure, I've never bought a shark card. I saw that as a challenge. I've never been one to spend money, real money, on funny money. I got caught up a long time ago in a cell phone game and spent real money on that, and it snapped me out of it. I was like, oh my god. and I never touched it again. But yeah, so I saw that as a challenge to grind and to make money, and that's what I've made my YouTube channel about. Doing tutorials on money grinds and doing live broadcasts of making money and things like that. So I don't have to really worry about that anymore. A lot of people don't have the time and they don't have the willpower to know how to do that same kind of thing, and so they're forced to buy shark cards. And when you have a vehicle that costs between 80 and 100 US dollars just to purchase, that's just it's ridiculous. Um, but going back to my point, this, it's like a snowball effect. For example, look at the gun running DLC. Look at that DLC, all right? I was one of the first people to be up in arms about it. It was a onion. It was an orange. You had to peel back layers after layers to get something. So, for example, if I wanted to upgrade my assault carbine to the Mark II, I not only had to buy a bunker at the very minimum for $1 million, I had to buy an MOC for $1 million. I had to buy the weapons upgrade, cab in the MOC, which was whatever amount of money, 700,000 or something like that. Then I had to do all of the research, right? All of the research on this as well. I had to do the research for however many, it was like what, 25 or 40 or some crap, I forgot now. But it was a tremendous amount of research. It ended up being a little over $12 million to pay for it all, or something like 300 hours or some ridiculous amount of time to just actually do it, without having to buy it. And the research was random. So if you wanted to get a clip for explosive ammo, if you wanted to get like a scope or a barrel, it was just luck of the draw. You had to go through camos that you didn't want, or whatever, landmines or something like that before you got to it. So you had to go through all these layers, and that was just disrespectful. That's really the thing I saw. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't mad. I understood it. I understand the business model from it, but it was disrespectful to a player base that at that time had been out for almost 3 years actually. And that's how you wanted it to go about it. That's how you were kind of treating us. And that was, I saw that as kind of just being dick. It was a little douchey. It really was. So, I get it. Rockstar, Take-Two. Take-Two is the parent company of Rockstar, right? They're the holding company. They're the company that basically has all the investors that pump money into Rockstar to help them, fund projects and things like that. So they don't give these guys they don't give a damn about video games. All they see is, if I invested $1 million, I want 1.25% back, or whatever the number is. So I want 1,250,000 back on this first quarter. I want 1.35% back on the next quarter. So I want $1,350,000 back on the next quarter. So, and that's all they see. That's what they want. And they don't give a damn how it happens as long as it does, right? Because that's their grind, right? That's the real evil right there, is those son of a bitch. Anyways, I apologize. Excuse the language. But yeah, so that's kind of how everything got warped up, and this is the reason why. Okay, and they've been doing this since gun. That's just an example right there. All these other vehicles that have been coming out that are lackluster, that are very expensive. That's just the same kind of MO. And these are the reasons why, I think. Now, I've got two reasons. One of them is purely, conspiracy theory, straight up, and the other one is just raw fact, and it's undeniable raw fact. Okay. We'll touch on the conspiracy theory first, because I like it. Those are fun, right? You know what I mean? But I have a theory, and not really a conspiracy, but I have a theory that Rockstar a while ago kind of got bored with this, but they knew that they had obligations to meet to Take-Two. So Take-Two was like, "Hey, we want money," and Rockstar was like, "Well, we want to move on to another project, but you're not going to let us." I mean, there's evidence in that. Look how many times that Red Dead, got delayed and things. No, that's their MO. They do delay games and things like that. But they wanted to push that. They wanted to do other things as well, because Rockstar has a ton of games that they work on, that they make, and they've done a really good job with. So they're like, I really think that they kind of got bored of this and they wanted to move on to a different project. And there's evidence behind that. But they, like I said, they knew they had an obligation to meet. So this is what I think that they were thinking. They're like, okay, we'll give you what you want, Take-Two, but we're in the same thing as doing that. We're going to try and actually, without Take-Two knowing this, but kind of, in a way, maybe not ruin the game, but kind of make it come to a halt, right? They're like, we're going to make DLCs that are very, very expensive, force people to either grind outrageously to get them or spend real money, and we think that it'll turn the player community base off. And they're not going to want to do that, and it's going to make Take-Two rethink their whole strategy on this, and maybe just move on to a new game entirely and let us do our thing. However, that backfired. Gunrunning was a major success. All right, it was insane. I mean, the shark cards were just flying off like hotcakes. It was ridiculous. And so, at the same time, it angered a small portion of the community. The rest of the community was like, we don't give a shit. We got APCs, we got freaking, we got all this crazy, we got, the Tampa, the weaponized Tampa, we got all this crazy stuff, we got MOCs, all this nasty stuff. So it kind of backfired on them. And then you have the whole Smuggler's Run, with the hangars and stuff like that. It was kind of the same thing. It wasn't so much of a layered kind of DLC, but it was a money making DLC that wasn't really that good. It took a lot. There's ways to make money with Smuggler's Run. It's not the worst way to make money by any means. It's actually, kind of in the middle. But it was, to the majority of people, it was very, very difficult. There's not a lot of good pilots out there and things like that. It just seemed more hard. And a lot of the planes were just, I mean, look at the Bombuchka, worthless. Look at the, the Tula, this overly priced, and this didn't really give you anything for them. Planes that didn't have explosive ammo, that you had to kind of like, oh well, at least as multi-firing missiles or whatever, this and that, and so you had to kind of justify the reason that you were spending money on them. Look at the Vigilante. It's the freaking Batmobile, and you can't even take an RPG with it. Like, what is going on, dude? Like, for real, for real. Things like that. It was just, what? You got to spend $6 million in that car to fully max it out. And people don't realize that. They just see that one base price. But if you want the missiles, you got to have an MOC. And you got to have a weapons garage inside the MOC. And to have an MOC, you got to have a bunker. So you have to buy all those things just to get to that point. And so they're kind of playing off that. So that's part of my first my first theory right there. The next reason behind all this, or I think a lot of the YouTubers out there that were talking about this, they totally missed this mark right here. And this is just raw facts. It's undeniable. One of the reasons why Rockstar and Take-Two are able to just do what they want at will and put whatever they want, they can literally just shit in a box and package it to us and we'll eat it up, right? The major reason behind this is not necessarily greed or this or that, you know what I mean? It's lack of competition. And you're probably thinking, Ty, what are you talking about, man? That sounds so lame. There's tons of video games that come out and this and that. Now I get it. There's a lot of games out there, right? Name one game that's like GTA. Name one. I'll wait. No, there's not. There's not any kind of games out there like Grand Theft Auto Online. There's zero competition. Look at Call of Duty. They've got Battlefield. Look at 2K. They've got NBA Live or whatever. Look at there's so many other games out there. I could go on and on all day. All these different first-person shooters, but there's nothing like what you have. The Sims maybe. No, that's I can't even justify that. Rockstar has no competition with GTA. So if you don't have anybody at your coattails chasing you to make you be the best, trying to beat you to the finish line, then you have no incentive to do better. You have no incentive to offer incentives to your player base. Now imagine if a game came out that was just like GTA, had free DLCs with no microtransactions. You think that the player base wouldn't at the very least be curious and buy that game, maybe hold off on GTA when the next installment comes out? I'll put $20, I'll put $100 on it that they would. I would. I know that. I'd check it out. Shit. Now there's been rumors about Leslie Benzies doing something like that, but that's far off. You know what I mean? But there's zero competition. Competition is it breeds perfection. It breeds innovation and things like that. And if you don't have it, there's no incentive to do better. There really isn't. That's the biggest thing. That's why I think a lot of these people were, a lot of these creators were kind of missing the point on. We're not only, it's not just the price of the laser, it's the snowballing, douchebaggery that Rockstar has been putting us through, and the reason why they can do that because they can freely get away with it because there's no competition. I mean, look, Marvel's got DC, right? That's their competition going back and forth. Think about how shitty those movies would be if there was nobody to compete with. It would be lame, So that's kind of my whole thing behind this. Without any kind of, until another company comes out with a GTA style game, it's going to be more the same. And Rockstar is going to just feel free. Take-Two will feel free to swing their big, thick, veiny Rockstar development team, and it's not going to change. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the ills and reals content in the game. Make sure you smash that like button. Stay dangerous. Peace.